McCarthy, and you're watching 1800 News. Recently, there have been various reports about how the children working in the factories are being treated. They are being forced to work for long amounts of time in very dangerous conditions. Many children and even some adults are getting severely injured, and some have died. The supervisors of the factories are treating the workers like slaves, as if they're not human. To find out more about the situation, we have Madeline Dunn interviewing Jessica Williams. Jessica was unable to escape the harsh lifestyle of working in the factories. She struggled to find a real job due to her lack of education and has been working in the factories for a few years now. Maddie.
Hi, good morning. I'm here with Jessica Williams. She is here on her 30-minute break to speak to us about the conditions of working in the factories. Good morning, Miss Williams.
Good morning.
So I'd like to start off by asking, what is your opinion on child labor and factory conditions based on the reports you have heard recently?
I personally don't think children should be working in the factories. The children are around dangerous machines and conditions aren't suitable for children. Not only are the machines dangerous, but some people in the factories don't treat them too great either.
Do you have any personal experience in these factories and their conditions?
Yes, I can tell you that the hours we have are horrible. We work for 18 to 19 hours a day and get little pay. The children work 12 to 14 hours a day and get little pay or no pay. Both children and adults only get a 30-minute meal break.
Why did you start working in the factories?
My family doesn't make too much money. In order to support myself and my family, I work in the factories with my mother.
How has this affected your life and health?
The factories aren't very clean. There's pollution and dust in the air. Many people have gotten mill fever, which is from being around all the dust and pollution in the factories. The machines aren't very safe either. While I work, I often reach over my machine and children have to go under it to find loose pieces of cotton. While doing this, people have lost arms and legs. Many of the factory owners only care about putting the machines up and running. I don't think safety is a major concern to them. In case of an accident, there is no way to turn off the machine.
How is this affecting the life and health of the children?
The children can possibly lose an arm or a leg. Young children are required to go under the machines and pick up cotton and other things that might have fallen. They can also get meal fever as well. However, children are working instead of going to school, so they are not being educated.
How do you think the factory conditions are affecting our environment and weather patterns?
I think the pollution from the factories are definitely creating a hazard to the environment. If we're not careful, we could damage the place we live in.
How do you think these issues can be resolved and prevented?
I think that these issues can be resolved by informing the people of how awful the conditions are that these children and I are working in. I only get one meal for 30 minutes and I'm still working extremely long hours. Luckily, I have not become ill, but many people around me have. The conditions are very dangerous, as I mentioned before. The factories are a very unsanitary place. If people are informed about the situation, then I believe that they will do something about it.
Thank you for your time, cooperation, and for sharing your experiences. Now back to you, Meredith, in the studio.
Thank you, Jessica Williams, for being here. Now to Tanya for the weather and climate conditions.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Tanya. Today, our climate is very, very warm for springtime. The use of the factories and mass productions have led to the depletion of certain natural resources. One example of depletion is deforestation. When the trees are cleared, the wildlife in the forest also becomes uprooted. The lack of trees is only caused by the problem of carbon emissions. While the forests help out emitting oxygen and refreshing the levels of healthy gases in the air, factories are emitting poisonous emissions and getting rid of the source of oxygen. The pollution that has resulted from factories involves not only airborne emissions, but land and water pollutions as well. The primary issue resulting from pollution and carbon emissions is global warming. As the temperature rises, the glaciers are melting and the oceans are rising, which has resulted in an average of over 2 feet the normal tides. More animal species are becoming endangered or extinct as a result of global warming.
Thanks, Tanya, and thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in at 5 to find out about how citizens are getting around town in the new modern era. See you soon!